like we laugh about it now, but like I was telling her how I totally understand her frustration.
What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here, and you know who this is. She is a WWE Hall of Famer and one of the premier WWE superstars through the early and mid 2000s, ahead, or I guess in the midst of her collab with Passes, which we'll be digging into today. Torrie Wilson, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for doing this. It was a very pleasant surprise to see you at Evolution 2. Sad we didn't get to see you in the ring, but who knows? Maybe we can get to that later on. Let's start here. The email came through my inbox, and I always love to see how superstars, legends are interacting with their fans. Can you tell me a little bit about what fans can expect from your new Passes page?
Yeah, so the analogy here is social media is all about standing out and getting more eyeballs, and Passes is more about leaning in to your strongest followers and giving them content they want to see more of. So that's what it's about, and I've really had a lot of fun in the DMs there. I don't answer DMs on social media anywhere uh, for good reason.
Wise.
Like a filter. But it's been really fun, and I love that Passes. It's a subscription site, obviously, but it's not like OnlyFans that doesn't allow nudity or anything like that. So it just feels a little cleaner on the site. Um, Keeps everybody in line so they know what to not expect.
What's been, I always put out like a fan Q&A to try and get some involvement, and I gotta say, and I'm not just saying this to be polite, but in terms of like the number of responses, I don't think I've ever seen such a high percentage of people being like, I don't have a question, I just want to say that I met Tori at her store in Houston or at Disney World when I was working, and she was so sweet, she was so kind. What has it been like being able to sort of interact with some of these fans who have either had really pleasant interactions with you or just sort of see you in a... You hear a lot of bad stories in pro wrestling from time to time. I don't think I've ever heard a bad Torrie Wilson story. What's it been like just being able to kind of connect with people?
I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And unfortunately, the fear of the jerks sometimes puts a filter
Mm.
up for a lot of people that are sweet and just want to have a good interaction. So I love connecting with people, no matter where I'm at. I just got the chills. It's just like it never gets old. It's just the jerks that sometimes ruin it for other people. But I hope there's no bad stories about me because I try to be nice to everybody.
I did my research, not a thing came up, Tori, so I think we're in the clear. I want to go back, if we can, real quick to one of your early matches. Pro wrestling, not an easy sport. I don't know that I've seen a lot of people who've been in a scaffold match less than 10 matches into their pro career. Like, what is going through your mind when WCW Creative approaches you and says, hey, I know you're kind of new to this. You're going to be, hanging 20 feet off the air wrestling.
Oh my gosh. It's funny. I saw Medusa at Evolution and I
Mhm.
brought up the scaffold match to her because she was so lovely at that time. I love her, by the way, but she loved scaring me. And I remember right before the match, she was like, Tori, you better not F this up or else I'm going to throw you off the scaffold. So, of course, I was even more nervous because I'm scared of heights. Um, it's like there's like it's like exciting that you're doing something, but at the same time, like completely not prepared. So also there's that, which was kind of my career in a nutshell. Um, so yeah, it was a nice welcome to the wrestling biz.
Okay. Any like apprehensions about doing it, or are we just sort of like new and you kind of like, deer in the headlights? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm still kind of figuring this all out as I go.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of went with everything. Like anything they brought with, I was just like excited to be on the show and to be doing something. So as scared as I was, I also was just like, okay, let's do it.
I know you've sort of made it a point to always say yes, unless, of course, it was something that just really did not drive with your own principles. But I'm curious, do you remember a storyline that you heard about or that was proposed that either gratefully or disappointingly got scrapped? Like it had nothing to do with you, but you heard about it. You were either really excited or really unsure about it, and then fortunately, it just kind of went the other way.
Um, no, I mean, I did read in, I think it was Brian Gerwitz's book, that there was a storyline about someone wanting to be me to be like naked out there, which never would have happened. I never would have done that. But that was the first time I've ever heard of that. But outside of that, no, like anytime I really felt uncomfortable, I would say I just don't, or I do it in my own way so that it was not as crazy.
I saw a video that Maven did sort of talking about his experiences with various superstars of his era, and you came up and he had nothing but glowing things to say, and sort of back to all the kind comments I got when I posted the Q&A. The one thing he did say, and I'd love to get your interpretation of it, is that no one ever had a problem with Torrie Wilson, the person, because she was always so kind and amicable. But because creative didn't have you perform in a way that was like ultra physical, that sometimes it might have caused some heat with other women who were sort of forced to wrestle a more or encouraged to wrestle a more physical style. Did you ever feel like you had any envy or heat from other superstars whose character sort of drove them to wrestle in ways that were harder on their bodies?
That's an interesting way to put it. I definitely felt some of that, especially in the beginning. Like Ivory, another person at Evolution that I joked with about being thrown into a bikini match with Stacy Keibler and I, and her going off on us in the ring. Like we laugh about it now, but like I was telling her how I totally understand her frustration because she's a wrestler and we get hired and all of a sudden she's having to get in the ring in a bikini. Um, I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry, but also like I'm not going to turn down the opportunity that I have given to me, even if I don't have the wrestling skills. I didn't even know what my job really was going to be at that point, so I didn't know if I was going to be a wrestler or not. But I definitely felt some of that. I don't know that it was necessarily from me. I mean, I don't know that it only was from women that were wrestling. I think, that business is just so hard because everyone's just fighting for that spot. And even the nicest people, they're fighting for their own spot, right? So there tends to be a little animosity no matter who you are because you're in a spot that they want.
When you look back on the career, what match would you say, like if we had to do like Torrie Wilson's greatest hits, if there's one match that you're most proud of, or one storyline, or just one moment, what would it be?
Okay, well, let's just start off by saying there's a lot of moments I'm not proud of. um, but I've said often that the match I'm most proud of is probably my last match that was with Victoria, and I honestly don't even know if it was on TV. It might have been a dark match, but it was just because I was improving so much in the ring, and it was kind of a point where I felt more confident. And she's just so amazing. She makes everyone look good. But it was definitely in the last couple years leading up to me ending up having to have back surgery and leaving. It was, during that time, I felt like my matches were definitely, I was a little more proud of.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't get to see more of it. I know you talked about bringing some ring gear to Evolution. I know you got asked this question a lot, but is that door 100% closed, or maybe when Evolution 3 circles out, we can revisit something?
Well, I feel like if you've ever been in wrestling, the door is never completely closed. But people ask me a lot, like, do you have another match in you? And I'm like, Yes, of course. Like if if something awesome came along, how would I not have that in me? It would take a lot more preparing on my end because I wouldn't want to go back and do something like that didn't make people go, "Oh wow, she is an athlete," right? So I would want to, I guess, make myself proud.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I like golfing and playing tennis and working out, and my back issues are not going away anytime soon.
What's better, your golf swing or your tennis swing?
Tennis.
Okay, okay. Well, there's something to improve on there too as well then.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of the WWE program you're ingesting these days, but while you were at Evolution, I was wondering if there's any women who caught your eye in terms of, yeah, I don't know, star quality, performance, just anyone who stuck out to you.
Yeah, I am probably more of a wrestling fan now than I've ever been. I watch it pretty steadily. I really love Rhea Ripley. I've not made that more clear. I don't think I've blasted everywhere how much I love her, but I mean, gosh, Becky Lynch, Bianca, Jade, Tiffy, they're all like just so incredible. I'm just floored by all of them, really. They're just so special, and it's been really cool to see this evolution that we have now.
I stumbled across a photo of you with a very young Dominik Mysterio, who has, on the record, stated that you were his first WWE crush. Um, he's been doing such great work, and it's really cool to see because of how much people weren't jiving with like his original run with his dad. Thoughts on how much Dominic has grown as a performer and like I don't know anything you remember about him as a kid?
I totally remember him coming backstage as a kid. He was the cutest kid. You just wanted to squeeze him, if you can see in that photo. And I mean, both of his kids are just so adorable. But it's crazy to see how far he's come. I mean, he is not only an exceptional performer, but his wrestling ability is crazy. And to think when he first came in with Ray, it was just like, okay, like he seemed a little quiet, like you just had no idea that this was going to come out of him, and it's just really been fun, as I'm sure you think, watching him grow, and it just really does remind me of Eddie, also, which people say a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't really know how to tackle this next one because I have a hard time making sense of like the on-screen segments. So feel free to answer, don't answer as much as you're comfortable. But there was a episode of WCW in 1999 where Macho Man Randy Savage comes backstage and you're sort of laughing during a segment. Um, yeah, just what was going through your mind at that moment? Like the breaking character, the slap, was it okay? Was it not okay? It's just kind of hard to parse. I know people have been wondering about it.
Yeah, I have been asked about that.
Mm-hmm.
What I do remember was I was so green, um, and that slap came out of nowhere. I didn't know it was
Mm-hmm.
coming, and the laugh was just me, like, like I, just kind of didn't know what to do, and that's just what came out, um, which I'm sure pissed him off even more. But it was just really me not knowing what was going on, and I mean, I hadn't been in the business long enough to understand that things like that could really happen. So it was a nice welcome to the biz.
I'm, s- I'm sorry, I was having trouble finding anything about it online. So thank you for sharing. I
Oh, yeah,
appreciate your
yeah.
candor on that one. And hopefully, if the quotes are out there, we can leave that one to rest. Can you tell me a little bit more about some of the things that fans can do when they engage with you on passes outside of just the DMs? Like, what sort of content can they get? How can they get to learn more about what Tori's up to?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a backstage pass to my life. So I share a lot of like vacation stuff, travels, going to Miami this weekend with a girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
workouts. Um, I'm very new to it, so I'm also taking a lot of suggestions from people when they come in. That's one of the first things I ask them is like, what content do you want to see more of? And I'm just really having fun, like just connecting with everybody and creating content that's fun and easy for me to make.
As we begin to wrap up here, I saw a quote that you gave. I think it was Chris Van Vliet that I really loved. And it was talking about how you didn't win any championships, but there are a lot of superstars who do win championships that you don't remember, or you don't remember their title reigns. Why is it so important that you are remembered as someone who's easy to work with, someone who always approached work with a smile? Because I think we see it more now these days relative to like when you first got into the business. But I think like I'm not an envious person, but I'm always jealous about how people talk about Big E. It's nothing but just like how warm he makes you feel, how happy he makes you feel. How is it that you kind of carried that attitude with you through your career, and why is it so important to you that you did?
I mean, I've just always been the one that at the end of the day, like I see it for what it is and it's
Mm,
entertainment and it could be gone tomorrow. No matter who you see on TV today, it could all be taken away tomorrow. One botched move, right? And I've just always had this deep way of looking at it. And I'd see people come in and they get a lot of TV time. And like, I just knew, I could tell by the way they were acting from the beginning that they were good, their head was going to get big. And it was just like, literally, I was never wrong. It was like the head got big. They started to act like their shit didn't stink. And like, then the downfall came. And I just got a front row seat to all of that. And at the end of the day, it's about so much more than that. And that's why, like, when people talk about championships, like, yeah, it's great to have a championship. It shows that the company, like, believes in you and, they're putting you out there as the face. But at the same time, it's also more important for me to, like, be able to connect with people and know that I'm not a jerk. And that probably did hold me back in some ways because, I wasn't finagling behind backs trying to get my storylines in.
mhm. But isn't it so nice to go to sleep with a clear conscience, story?
Absolutely. I have no regrets.
Will Dominik Mysterio be getting a free passes subscription, or does he have to pay like the rest of us?
He's got to pay.
All right. Dirty Dom, Intercontinental Champion. He's got the championship money to make it happen. Tori, thank you so much. This was a treat. Childhood bucket list item fulfilled.
Uh,
If there's anything you want to tell the people, I would love to give you the last word.
I just want everyone to know that really from the bottom of my heart, like it does not go unnoticed that it's been so many years since I've retired from wrestling. I still have people showing up at autograph signings, signing on to my passes, wanting to have a connection and meet me, and it means the world to me. So I'm never ungrateful, and I love you guys.